What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to episode number 803 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo to help you get your week started off on the right foot, to get it started off on the left foot. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in nearly a month, we are getting our week started off walking down that road to victory as the Philadelphia Eagles defeat the Las Vegas Raiders by a final score of 31-0. They pitch a shutout. It is a glorious day. Once again, we have Eagles football to celebrate. We'll talk about the game. We'll talk about Jalen Hurts being absolutely incredible. We will talk playoff clinching scenario as the Eagles have that on the horizon this coming Saturday on yet another short week as they head to Washington on Saturday evening at 5 p.m. Where they can clinch the division on Saturday. We'll talk about that. We'll talk all things that happened in the NFL this week. We will also dive into the Sixers, the Flyers, and then you will also get some Philadelphia Wings talk on this show as I'll recap the home opener, my running out of the tunnel activities pregame. Plus, you will hear from rookie Landen Sinfield, newest addition to the Philadelphia Wings, Eric Fannell, friend of the program, and head coach Ian Rubel from postgame media availability with some really great quotes. Not the entire postgame, just a bunch of the questions that I happened to ask them in the press conference and kind of just get some ins and outs on their thoughts on the game as they took down the Colorado Mammoth 8-7 in the season opener at home at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Very, very awesome game, and kudos to the Wings for just being a class act organization to me, to so many people, to the players, and hooking it up big time for the home opener. It was a day I will remember forever. It was truly incredible. So we'll talk all about that. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're on every platform. Be sure to follow us. It helps us reach new audiences. It allows us to do more dope stuff with and for you guys when you follow us. So be sure to follow us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. You can follow me on Twitter if you so choose at KBIZZL311, KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. It helps it reach new audiences, allows us to continue elevating our game and take things to newer heights as we gear up for 2026, which will be, on record, we are making 2026 the biggest year of this company's existence to date. We have a lot of things planned in 2026. We want you all along for the ride, so please subscribe to the pod and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. Guys, we are at 1,173 subscribers, which means we are 27 subscribers away from 1,200, which is our end-of-year goal. We have, as you're listening to this, you have 16 days to help us reach that goal of 1,200. And let's see if I can do this correct this time, guys. Let's see if I can do this correct. Back in 2024, really bad down year for us. We had 173 new subscribers all of 2024. Right now, we are at 291 new subscribers. So, if we do the math here, we're doing it right, I think. 173 times 2 is 346. 291 from 346. I did it right, guys. We are 55 subscribers away. That is my personal goal, is to hit 55 or more new subscribers before the end of December, so that we double our entire subscriber count from all of 2024 this year. That would be incredible. I would be over the moon ecstatic if we can make that happen. So smash that like button, click the bell icon down below so you don't miss any new videos from us, and be sure to drop a comment in the comment section as well, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as you all know, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. Yes, and if you're new to the program, yes, my hometown has gotten on board with us for the past couple of years and are the proud presenting partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. And the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sierra, ooh-wee! Bum, 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 bum. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Bum, 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 fly, Eagles fly. On the road to victory, everybody. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. We are back, everybody. The Philadelphia Eagles walk away on Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field in the brisk cold against the Las Vegas Raiders with a 31-0 shutout victory in the most can't lose, had to have it game. And there's no better way to celebrate an Eagles victory here on Victory Monday. For the first time in nearly a month, we are celebrating Victory Monday. And it is all brought to you by our friends at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. Grab a Kenny, everybody. Go celebrate. You can use the Kenny Finder at kenwoodbeer.com to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores, grocery stores, and convenience stores in those markets. Again, just use that Kenny Finder at kenwoodbeer.com to see who's got it in your area. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink and celebrate Victory Monday responsibly. The Philadelphia Eagles, like I mentioned, win 31-0 over the Las Vegas Raiders. This was a game they had to have, okay? I talked about it on, was it Thursday? Yes, Thursday. Days are blending together this time of year with the holidays. Thursday's episode, I said this is a game the Eagles had to have. Offense, defense, special teams, everything. This was the most cohesive the offense has looked all year, outside of maybe that Giants game when they shellacked them nearly a month and a half ago. Jalen Hurts, 12 of 15, 175 yards and 3 touchdowns. They took all the starters out of the game, in the fourth quarter. Saquon Barkley, 22 carries, 78 yards and a touchdown. Tank Bigsby, 17 carries for 57 yards. He got a bulk of that late in the game. Jalen Hurts, 7 carries for 39 yards, 5.6 a clip. Dallas Goedert led the team in receiving, 6 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. Was massive. He almost had a third. He should have had a third. Devontae Smith, 2 catches for 50 yards. A.J. Brown, 2 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown. Darius Cooper, 2 catches for 29 yards. Saquon Barkley added 2 catches for 14 yards to his total. The offense looked cohesive. They looked creative. They didn't seem predictable. They were throwing balls over the middle. They were using the middle of the field. They were going deep, and it wasn't. I genuinely don't know if there was a single completed to the sideline curl route that we have seen for a majority of this season. And the fact that that happened is amazing. And I did watch, guys, because I know I complained about it on Wednesday when I recorded, but on Thursday's episode, I know I complained about it with Tyler Steen. And he didn't have a perfect game, but much improved game. And granted, you're playing against the Raiders, but still, that's when you want to see these guys perform and fix things. And Tyler Steen did not do an ounce of that bullshit standing up like the mom I threw up kid and wind up like Sandy Koufax playing Family Feud to slap the buzzer to tell Cam Jurgens to snap the ball. Thank Christ, because look what the offensive line was able to do today. The offensive line, pretty fucking good today, I'd say. The run blocking wasn't fully there, but they protected Jalen Hurts. They opened a couple of holes there for Saquon throughout the game. And the Eagles rushed for over 100 yards on the ground. What would it be? Let's see, 135. Almost 200 yards on the ground, quite frankly, which is pretty impressive just from the standpoint of where this team has been running the football this year. Combined running the football, including the 9-yard run Tanner McKee had late in the game, is 183 yards of rushing in this game for the Eagles on offense. That's efficient. That is what you wanted to see. It was a balanced offense. Jalen Hurts took care of the football, only took 1 sack, 3 touchdowns in this game. Like I mentioned, 2 to Dallas, 1 to A.J. Brown, 12 of 15. He didn't have to do too much, which was nice. It was a chill, very vibes game, and it was perfect execution across the board, top to bottom on the offense. Kevin Patullo was finally in his bag. I don't know what took so long. I felt like the moment in SpongeBob when they're all looking down at the damn fucking flat top. That's what we've been waiting for. It's what we wanted all along. And it felt good to just enjoy an Eagles game with no crazy pressure, no closeness in the game. It was just very relaxing for the first time truly since that 38-20 win over the Giants on October 26th. Every other game this season has been one possession. It's been, pins and needles, and it's been even the Vikings game, that was a little easier. The Vikings did score late in that game, if I'm remembering correctly. But, it's one of those things that we haven't had very many, relaxing, fun, entertaining Eagles games this year. It's been very, close to the vest and brutal in a lot of aspects. But a 31-0 win over the Raiders. They needed this big time to get the shutout as well for the defense, who played outstanding. You just look at what the Raiders were able to do today. The Raiders were held to 75 total yards, 29 passing yards, 46 rushing yards. The defense was spectacular. Nakobe Dean was unbelievable. Cooper DeJean, 4 big tackles in this one. Adoree Jackson continues to build and grow in this defense. Brandon Graham, 2 sacks from the defensive tackle position. Moro Ojomo with a massive sack. Pause. He was fantastic. Ty Robinson looked pretty solid. Jalix Hunt was getting pressure like crazy. Nolan Smith had a sack in this game. Jalen Phillips continued to be a guy who opened things up for other players on the defense. And Zach Bond had an interception in this game. New career high in picks for him. The defense was spectacular, and they've been spectacular all season. And for them to get rewarded with a shutout like this, is really, really cool. And it felt good to just watch this team play cohesive, fundamental football for all 4 quarters. They scored in all 4 quarters. Really, really, great performance for this Philadelphia Eagles football team. Jalen Hurts silenced every fucking bozo in the city. And, in the moments that Tanner McKee was in the game, 3 for 3 for 33 yards, had the 9-yard rush. He looked good, and that's what I want to see from a backup quarterback. And I'm not bashing Tanner McKee from that. Tanner McKee is supposed to study the team. That is the job of the backup, is to kind of know the ins and outs of the game, almost like you're a coach, but being prepared to go into the game. And Tanner McKee has done that since he's been in Philadelphia. He's the consummate pro, and he looked solid and finished out the game strong for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts was, excuse me, I'm hiccuping on the truth. Jalen Hurts was awesome. Awesome in this game. Beautiful passes to Devontae Smith, to A.J. Brown. Hit Dallas Goedert on some great routes as well. Darius Cooper had a couple in there, like I mentioned, that were holy cow. I was loving it. I just genuinely loved everything about this game from the Eagles. They're now 9-5. They're still in 3rd place in the NFC behind the Rams, who clinched a playoff spot today with their win over the Lions, which was a bummer. And then they're behind the Bears, who still lead the division up there in the NFC North, and they don't have the tiebreaker over them. They are 10-5, if I'm not mistaken, right? NFL playoff picture. Let's see. Yeah, so the Bears are the 2 seed. Packers are the 7 seed. 49ers are the 6 seed. If the playoffs started today, it'd be Eagles, 49ers at the link. Seahawks are the 5 seed. Buccaneers, as of right now, are the 4 seed. But the Eagles, going into Week 16, they got to win, obviously. What happens if the Packers win? They flip-flop with the Bears. If the Rams win there, let's see what happens if the Seahawks win there. We're just messing around with the playoff machine, as we all know. Rounding out some things in the NFC. What does that look like for everybody? Let's say this happens, and that happens, and that happens, and this happens, and this happens. What happens if the Colts beat the 49ers? Nothing. Okay. Let's say this happens, this happens, this happens, that happens, this happens, that happens, that happens. That would be kind of cool. Where's the other important game? That happens. What happens there? Okay. Is it possible still or no? Is it a done deal that the Eagles can no longer hit that 1 seed? Who did the Seahawks play last? Ooh, that's Frisky. Yeah, I don't think we really needed the Lions to win today in order for the Eagles to still have a shot at the 1 seed. It's not looking likely at all for the Eagles to snag that. We would need the Seahawks to kind of lose out, but that also puts the Rams in a position to grab the 1 seed again. What would happen if the Rams lose out? Where are the Rams? Yeah, so the Rams would have to lose out. The 1 seed is going to go to one of the teams in the NFC West, whether it be the 49ers, Seahawks, or the Rams, one of those. I mean, that's a bummer, but I trust the Eagles at home, and they'll have at least one home playoff game, if not two. And I mean, I think they can still get the 2 seed, and if that 1 seed, whether it be the Rams, the Seahawks, the 49ers, kind of fizzle out. I mean, the Rams got banged up today. Puka Nacua was injured. I know he came back into the game. Devontae Adams, that hamstring. Stafford has been playing out of his mind, but, he's old. And you never know what's going to happen. But this was a must-win game that the Eagles had to have, and they got it. And I'm very, very thrilled. Like, this was the most complete win the Eagles have had in 2025, not including the Super Bowl, obviously. Most complete regular season win in 2025 the Eagles have had. A 31-0 shutout. Everyone cohesively looked great. Where Britton Covey has been up until the past, 2 weeks now is beyond me, because that dude should have been returning punts the entire season. But I feel good. Like, you look at the overall team stats for the Eagles, 183 rushing yards, 204 passing yards, 387 total yards, 5.9 yards per play, 27 first downs, 10 for 13 on third down. The Eagles have been horrible on third down this year, and 10 for 13. 66 total plays, only punted once, 3 penalties was the only damage there. They outpossessed the Raiders by almost 50%, 39-25 to 20-35. Red zone attempts, 3 for 5. It was quality. It was a quality, very, very feel-good win for the Philadelphia Eagles. And for all the people out there that are going to say, oh, it's just the Raiders, you play who's on your schedule. And no matter what the record is, you're going to want to perform against whomever is on there. And the fact that the Eagles are the superior team to the Las Vegas Raiders, and they went out and dominated them like that, that's what I want to see from my team. I don't care who they're playing. I don't care who's across from them. I want to see them be the better team on Sunday, Thursday, Monday, and in this upcoming case, Saturday, than whoever is on the schedule. And they did that today, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the way this team played. They fought. They battled the past couple of weeks, and it's been hell, but now refreshing, reset here going into this final quadrant of games. This being the first one. The Eagles have never lost 4 games in a row under Nick Sirianni still. I feel really good right now. And I know that's crazy after the 3-game losing streak and playing against a 2-11 team coming in, and to say you feel really good about dominate. Yeah, I do. This is a win this team needed, morale-wise and mentality-wise, and to get back to winning in dominant fashion. And now you get to hopefully do that again on Saturday at Washington, hopefully get a good, nice test against the Buffalo Bills, and then you get to close things out at home against Washington, which is you should win at least the 2 against Washington, and we'll see what happens with Buffalo. I would hope the Eagles bring their A game against the Buffalo Bills, make it like a playoff game, get ready for a potential road playoff game against a very good football team in a hostile environment. I would like to win out if I'm the Eagles. finish the season at 12-5, and just gear up for the playoffs. You win on Saturday, you clinch the division. Be the first back-to-back champions of the NFC East since 2003-2004, when the Philadelphia Eagles did it. We finally can hopefully break that curse on Saturday against, of all teams, Washington, who everyone was saying was going to win the division this year. They're going to take another step forward. No. Get out of here with that shit. Weak-ass team. I hope I'm not alone in this. I know there's some of my constituents on the tweet machine that are with me on this, but, like, do you all feel good about this win? Like, this was a breath of fresh air, like, weight off the shoulders type of win? I hope so. And I want to hear from you. Speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. You can call into the show. That voicemail line is always open. It's like AJ Brown. It's the AJ Brown voicemail line. Give me your thoughts on this game. Give me your thoughts on anything pertaining to Philly sports. Don't call the radio station. Call into me, and I will respond to your takes. I will respond to your thoughts in a heartfelt and thought-out way. And if I think you're a moron, I'll call you a moron. And if you're not a moron, I will listen to your takes, and we will have a good time. And if they're stupid enough that I don't even think they're deserving of airtime, they won't make it into the show. But most of the time, they'll make it into the show. Speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Call into the show. Don't call into the radio station. Jalen Hurts, man. What can I say? A tip of the cap to QB1. A tip of the cap to QB1. And the tip of the cap, as you all know, is brought to you by our awesome pals over at 47. Guys, I'm rocking the 47 right now. Right there. The Super Bowl 52 champions 47 hat. Got the patch on the side. Got the matching shirt from 47. They're my go-to headwear brand of choice. We just got custom OTB 47 hats made, and I'm thrilled that I'm going to be wearing those all wing season long. Going to be able to wear that when I'm on the road for the PLL. Going to be getting a whole bunch more of our brands put on 47 hats because they're the most comfortable, form-fitting, aesthetically pleasing hats on the market. Their apparel is second to none. We love 47 brand here at Underground Sports Philadelphia, and truly, there's no better time than now to take advantage of what 47's got going on. 20% off one item, 30% off two or more items. Limited time. That discount ends this week at 6 a.m. Eastern on December 16th. Okay? You only have a little bit of time left to take care of that. So definitely take advantage while you still can. 20% off one item, 30% off two or more items. The discount applies automatically at checkout. Use our link in the description to shop with 47 so you don't miss out on that limited time sale. And gear up. Treat yourself, treat your people for the holidays, and rep your favorite sports teams with our friends at 47. And we thank 47 for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts was spectacular. He silenced the haters, kept things pretty close to the vest after the game, and I'm fine with that, especially the way that Jalen Hurts was treated this week in this city and people calling for him to be benched. People being stupid enough to bring that up to Nick Sirianni that work in the media in this city, and by the media, I mean radio hosts trying to get clicks, trying to get fucking Butch and Manniunk and Chuck and Mount Airy to call into their station and do the comments for them, or the content for them, excuse me. I love that Jalen just went out and flipped the double bird to all the haters and said, fuck you, I'm the defending Super Bowl MVP, I'm out here putting asses in seats, I'm out here working my tail off to make sure that this team can get back to the mountaintop where they rightfully deserve to be, and absolutely balled out today in front of a sold-out Lincoln Financial Field in the cold, perfect passer rating, just absolutely dunked on all the moron pundits out there who truly have no right to be talking about football because they don't watch the games. They watch through the highlights. They fast forward through things. They watch it on 3 times speed. There's very few people who sit and watch every single game the way that we as fans do and watch things the way that fans do. You're just trying to get a takeoff, and that doesn't sit right with me. And I mean, just look at what Jalen Hurts has been able to do in his career. I want to pull up this stat here from friend of the program, good pal of mine, OJ Spivey, put out a great stat with Jalen Hurts. Multiple stats, quite frankly. Jalen Hurts back to setting records, man. He's back to setting records. Pulling it up here. Here it is. Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback in Eagles history to record multiple games with a 150-plus passer rating, 154.9, and 80% plus completion percentage, 80% on the dot, in the same season. He previously accomplished the feat in Week 7 at Minnesota, where he had a 158.3 rating and 82.6% on his completion percentage. Jalen Hurts, first quarterback in Eagles history to do so. Isn't that fancy? No big deal to QB1, though. QB1 will go out there and casually set a new franchise record like it's nothing, because that's what he does. In the words of Devontae Smith, that's what the fuck he does. Jalen Hurts is spectacular, man. Jalen Hurts is a photographer, too, while I'm on the subject of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a photographer. At I'm VAR, though, on Twitter. I need him on this podcast. I need to get this man on this podcast. His photography skills are unbelievable. If you're not following him on social media, you're missing out. At I'm VAR, though, he's amazing. What he does capturing photos, not only for Jalen Hurts, but for the Philadelphia Eagles in general. He's one of my favorite creatives on the internet. I need to get him on this show. So, at I'm VAR, though, tag him, let him know. We need him on the show. I'm going to be hitting him up after the holidays, probably. That'll be a little bit easier for him, I'm sure. Probably after the season, honestly. If we can get him in season, that'd be great. But his skills are just unbelievable. I'm always blown away by what he's able to capture, because it's pure magic. It's pure magic what he does with a camera. So, shout out to I'm VAR, though. Jalen Hurts is photographer. Because he captures moments that are just second to none. And Jalen Hurts had a moment today that was second to none. A 31-0 shutout along with the boys to go and pull within one more game closer of being NFC East champions once again. Pretty cool to see Kenny Pickett, too. I know he didn't have the best game, 15 of 25, 64 yards and a pick. No pun intended there. To see the way that the Eagles players after the game greeted him and were just so elated to see him speaks volumes of the type of player Kenny Pickett is to me. You know, he may not be a Hall of Fame quarterback. He may not be, an every game starter for most teams in the league, but to see the way that his former teammates greeted him and were thrilled to see him and just excited to be around him again was pretty cool. And that speaks volumes of a backup quarterback, where a lot of people will say it's the easiest job, but it's also hard. You got to recognize that, like, yeah, I'm prepared, but I'm not always going to be going into a game. I'm not going to play every game because our starter's going to play, and that's the expectation. But to see the way that Kenny Pickett, and it was all starters. It was, Saquon Barkley. It was Jordan Mailata. There were so many guys that were thrilled to see Kenny Pickett. That speaks volumes to him. And, even in a loss like that, it had to be cool for him to take the field at the Link again, and a place he grew up attending with his family and being a lifelong Eagles fan. And he's a Super Bowl champion forever with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's an Eagles legend for so many different reasons from last year's season. But it was cool to see Kenny's teammates and the way that they just gravitated towards him after a game and greeted him and made sure he felt that love and support. And I thought that was very cool, from his teammates, his former teammates, and to make him feel loved and welcome back even after going belt to ass on him. I thought that was a really cool sentiment for Kenny Pickett, and it just shows how much those guys appreciated him being a teammate and a friend and all of that. So salute to Kenny Pickett, Super Bowl champion forever. Let's go around the NFL, shall we? The NFL was a wild place this weekend. Looking at everything that went down, it all started on Thursday where the Falcons walk away with a 1-point victory over the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers might be done. Their season's hanging in the balance. The Ravens blanked the Bengals 24-0. The Eagles blanked the Raiders 31-0. The Texans doubled up the Cardinals 40-20. The Chargers zapped the Chiefs out of the playoffs due to other games' results. The Kansas City Chiefs, for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career, will miss the playoffs. I'm just saying. Not only did just throwing the dagger in Super Bowl 59 end the game against the Chiefs, it might have cooked that dynasty. You never know. As our good friend Dewani Soraya says, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Dynasty killers. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. We all may not be Patrick Mahomes fans. Bummer that he tore his ACL in this game. Speedy recovery. Well wishes to Pat. That sucks. It's we never root for injuries on this show. It sucks seeing guys get injured. But man, the Chiefs missing the playoffs for the first time in the Mahomes era is crazy work. The Bills survive and hold on to hope of winning the AFC East. They take down the Patriots in Foxborough 35-31 in a phenomenal game. The Jaguars take down the Jets 48-20. Commanders take down the Giants 29-21. The Bears put the silencer on the Browns 31-3. The Saints with an upset 20-17 to beat the Panthers. The Rams, unfortunately for the Eagles, take down the Lions 41-34. The Seahawks spoil Phillip Rivers' return to the football field 18-16. The Broncos gallop over the Packers 34-26. Micah Parsons also tore his ACL in that game. Best wishes to Micah. The 49ers take down the Titans 37-24. And the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. What up, 9? What up, 9? J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings gritty on the Cowboys. They said right foot creep. 34-26. Cowboys have a 1% chance to make the playoffs. All the Eagles got to do on Saturday is win. The Cowboys are cooked. It'll be beautiful. I would love to see it. And then on Monday Night Football, it's Dolphins at Steelers for some AFC playoff implications. And a reminder, Eagles Commanders on Saturday at 5 p.m. We'll talk about it on Thursday's episode, and then we'll recap it on Monday's episode. But the Eagles play on Saturday, so short week again for the Bird. We got some tasty matchups before Sunday even hits. Thursday, Rams Seahawks in Seattle. Eagles Commanders at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Packers at Bears on Saturday in the nightcap. Hachi machi, these games are crazy. But the NFL was a wild one this week. a wild, wild time, and our NFL, around the NFL, brought to you by our pals over at Paramount Plus. Guys, there's no better way to stream the NFL all season long than on Paramount Plus. Stream your local games, check your local listings, and you can watch the NFL all year long on Paramount Plus, plus their incredible back catalog of Survivor, Nickelodeon, Beavis and Butthead. They've got an amazing back catalog. Right now, sign up for Paramount Plus. Use the link in the description. And if you're a student, now you have a couple weeks still. Now through the end of the year, you get 50% off any Paramount Plus plan when you sign up using our link. So use our link in the description. Sign up for Paramount Plus today and get 50% off any Paramount Plus plan when you sign up using our link if you're a student. And don't miss a single second of NFL action the remainder of this season and probably beyond with our pals at Paramount Plus. Shifting gears from the NFL to the hockey rink, the Flyers, ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers. Two very weird circumstances. This weekend, they've garnered a lot of points since we've last recorded. Thursday, they fell in overtime to the Golden Knights at home, 3-2, but you get a point there. Saturday, they lose in a shootout to Carolina, 4-3, and today, in the weird home and home in the NHL, they went down to Carolina and subsequently lost in a shootout, 3-2. So they get 3 points in their last 3 games. Still sitting in a playoff spot. They still have 38 points. They're ahead of the Penguins, ahead of the Devils, ahead of the Rangers, ahead of the Blue Jackets. They're 2 points behind the Capitals, 3 points behind the Islanders, and 6 points behind the aforementioned Hurricanes. Still feel good. I'm still feeling good. I genuinely forget what I wanted our December point total to be, but looking at our December games right now, in the month of December, the Flyers have accumulated 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 points so far here in December with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more games remaining. So that's a possible 14 points. No, 16 points. Math is hard. So they can get a maximum of 23 if they run the gauntlet and pick up 2 points in every single game. They've got a game against the Canadiens on Tuesday. Thursday, they're at Buffalo. Saturday, they're at the Rangers. Monday, they're home to the Canucks. Then they're at Chicago on the 23rd. They're at Seattle on the 28th, at Vancouver on the 30th, and at the Flames on the 31st. I mean, looking at the standings, the Sabres stink. The Rangers stink. The Canadiens are pretty quality, but they're same point total as the Flyers. They're 17, 11, and 4. The Flyers are 16, 9, and 6. The Blackhawks are pretty bad. The Kraken, Canucks, and Flames. Canucks, terrible, and they just traded their best player. Flames, Kraken, they're all bad. This is a prime opportunity for the Flyers to just continue to build and be in the mix in the playoffs, which they currently are. You know, you look at the NHL standings on NHL.com for the playoffs when it comes to everything. The Flyers are the number 1 wild card right now. It's them and the Bruins. Very, very possible that the Flyers could be playing playoff high. Like, we are halfway through December, ladies and gentlemen. Let's remember this. We are halfway through December, and right here on this very program, we're still talking about the Flyers pretty early on in the show. Who would have seen that coming into the year? I don't know if I did. I quite honestly didn't know if I did. I didn't know how things would be meshing and clicking. Flyers are doing all of this without Michkov, like, really popping off yet. I want to pull up the Flyers hockey reference. Flyers hockey reference. I just want to pull up their stats right now. I don't know if it's fully updated or not. But looking at their point scorers, Trevor Zegras, 30 points. Konechny, 26. Dvorak, who's been unbelievable, 21 points. Owen Tippett with 19. Coots with 17. Noah Cates with 16. Michkov with 16. Bobby Brink with 14. Sanheim with 14. Drysdale with 13. Forster, 13. And Cam York with 12. They've got 12 guys with double-digit point totals right now. Goals, let's look at the goals. Trevor Zegras leading the way with 12. Forster with 10. Tippett with 9, TK with 8, Michkov and Bobby Brink with 8, Dvorak with 7, Noah Cates with 7, Coots with 5. They've got 9 guys with at least 5 or more goals. And then Sanheim, Drysdale, and Carl Grundstrom all have 2 goals. And they have 17 guys who have scored a goal so far this season, at least one. Assists, TK and Zegras with 18, Dvorak with 14, Coots with 12, Sanheim with 12, Drysdale with 11, York with 11, Owen Tippett with 10, Noah Cates with 9, Michkov with 8, Bobby Brink with 6, Emil Andre with 6, Noah Juleson with 4, Nick Seeler with 4, Forster with 3, Nikita Grebenkin with 3. That's 16 guys with at least 3 or more assists. They're spreading the puck around. I think they're playing excellent hockey right now. They're playing fun hockey, and quite honestly, that's all that matters. This is year 2 of this Flyers rebuild, and we're sitting here, as you guys are listening to this, December 15th at the earliest, talking about the Flyers in a positive light. We're talking about them playing fun, exciting brands of hockey. Like, the games they are playing right now are entertaining. I've been watching Flyers games all year, whether it be at home or being at the home opener, and trying to get to a couple other games this year. But, like, they're so fun to watch. And I think that's the biggest thing when you're in a rebuild. Most recently we had it, obviously, with the Phillies and the Sixers. Like, during their rebuilds, they were not fun to watch. It was brutal. They were losing all the time. The Flyers last year was rough. But this year, they're just so goddamn fun and, like, doing cool shit and easy to root for. Like, Trevor Zegras is a star. Coots balling out. TK balling out. Hopefully Tyson Forster comes back healthy when he's back from injury. That injury sucks, but he's a star. Dan Vladar has played unreal in net. Like, this team is playing at a level that none of us could have expected. And I'm not saying they're, like, lighting the world on fire, but the fact that they are the number 1 wild card right now, they're 2 points out of a traditional playoff spot here in December, anything can happen. That's the beauty of sports. Just get in the dance. And if the Flyers keep playing this way, I want to see them get in the dance. Give this young core a taste of what the playoffs are like. That way, moving forward, you remember those early goes and you build upon them. You learn from them, and it makes it that much more sweet. It makes it that much more special when the time comes for this team to truly go on its run, when they swing for the fences and get that big piece for this team, when they continue to, build towards being a Stanley Cup champion. There's so much to be optimistic and, like, joyful about when it comes to this Flyers team. And if you're not enjoying what they're putting out on the ice, I don't know what to tell you. Because I know we're scarred from the past decade plus of the Flyers just, like, letting our hopes and dreams go to die and not being a consistently, competitive hockey team, and really, like, letting us down when we needed the most. Throw all that away. This is a different era. Like, this team is you can feel the difference, and it's not just on the ice either. It's around the team. It's in the fan base. It's in just the organization. It feels different. And I think that's a lot to do with Keith Jones and Danny Briere, like, resetting the culture of the team and knowing what it's going to take to win in Philadelphia, because they have had tons of success here as players and being in the city. And I trust them fully. And I've said that from the jump with this rebuild, and me letting you all know that, like, I'm getting behind this Flyers team and trusting Danny Briere and trusting Keith Jones, because I think they have the right vision for this team. And so far, I feel pretty damn vindicated, and we're early on in this whole process. So I'm intrigued to see, like, what we're able to do moving forward. And to me, that's exciting. And if you're not excited about this team, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you if you're not excited about the Philadelphia Flyers. They just continue to build, and they continue to grow. And I think what they are doing right now as an organization, what they're doing right now as a team, and what they're doing for the city. Like, yeah, the Eagles were on that slide recently, and the Sixers are playing well, but, like, to also have a competent and exciting hockey team, we all know what that means in this city. So to have that is super exciting, and I hope you all are recognizing that this team is going to compete for as long as everyone stays healthy, and as long as everyone continues to buy into what Rick Tocchet, Danny Briere, and Keith Jones are putting out on the ice. I'm behind this team. They are super fun. They're frisky. They're scrappy. They're picking up points when they need them. And I'm gonna support this team full blown. Like, I'm in on this Flyers team. Like, we're rocking out with the Philadelphia Flyers. We have been. We got on board this year. We felt pretty good about the vibes after October, after November. Now we're halfway through December. And we'll see what the point total looks like at the end of the month. But looks like there's a real opportunity for the Flyers to have a quality month of December down the stretch. Because looking back again, like, looking at the teams that they've got upcoming, Buffalo Sabres stink. Rangers stink. Canadiens are right on their playing level. We'll see if we can go up to Montreal and beat them. Canucks stink. Blackhawks stink. Kraken stink. Canucks stink. Flames stink. This is a great opportunity for the Flyers to, like, build and rack up points going into 2026 and into the slate there. So if they can walk away with, let's say, 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11, 12 or 13 points, who's going to start believing then? I think that's feasible, to get 12 or 13 points the rest of the month with the teams that they're playing. And that's being generous by saying, oh, they'll get 1 point against the Rangers. They'll get a point against the Kraken. I'm being a little generous there. But I think there's a real shot that the Flyers can really, like, finish out 2025 strong and then make 2026, like, be something to be on the lookout for as this team continues to progress. But I feel great about the Flyers. Are you in? How do you feel about the orange and black right now? Speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Leave me a voicemail. Let me know how you're feeling about the orange and the black. Flyers talk there, brought to you by our pals over at 5 Iron Golf. Guys, 5 Iron Golf is the place to be. Okay, let me tell you. 5 Iron Golf is one of the coolest experiences that you can go to just taking golf, use golf simulators. They've got excellent food. And it's just the perfect like social experience because 5-Iron Golf blends cutting-edge simulators, top-tier instruction, and a lively sports bar. You can play iconic courses, improve with expert coaches, or enjoy a night out with friends. 5-Iron delivers an unbeatable golf and social experience. Use our link in the description to book your next outing with 5-Iron Golf. And when you're at 5-Iron, tweet at us. Let us know you're having a great time at 5-Iron because we're looking, towards the end of the holiday season and going into 2026, have a little fun company outing at 5-Iron with a bunch of us to just go out and enjoy a night out together as a company for all of our local people. But when you go to 5-Iron and use our link to book, let us know. We want to see you guys enjoying your night out at 5-Iron Golf. There's a bunch of locations in the city, and they're truly incredible. It's an incredible experience, so use our link in the description to book your next outing at 5-Iron Golf and enjoy a night out with friends, enjoy their simulators, and just have a night out on the town with our friends at 5-Iron Golf. Let's we'll round the show out with the Sixers. Let's shift to the Philadelphia Wings, ladies and gentlemen. The Philadelphia Wings home opener happened on Saturday afternoon at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Your boy. I ran out on the field from the tunnel pregame. I was one of the honored guests pregame for the home opener, which is just a crazy thing. Had my name announced in front of the entire arena. Surreal experience. Got hooked up with a suite. Bunch of our creators were there. Myself, Casey, Owen, Mark, Christian, my parents, all there. And we got to watch the Philadelphia Wings kick some ass, take some names, and start their season 1-0 against the Colorado Mammoth. 8-7, big time win. And it's a win the organization needed. Not just this team, not just this, group of guys, but the organization. Last year was such a letdown year in a lot of aspects, and when you lose players to injury, when you lose players in free agency, and you kind of just have a lot of uncertainty about where things are going, you needed a win like this, and to showcase a defense that is going to be what I think the best defensive unit the Philadelphia Wings have had since they've returned to Philadelphia. When you have guys like Brennan O'Neill and Eric Fannell, and you have a rookie like Landen Sinfield pop on the scene and showcase his talents in game one of his career, when you're going to eventually get contributions from Sam LeClaire and Michael Sowers and hopefully Blaze Reardon this year, there's a lot to be optimistic about. Nick Rowlett looking great at the stripe. It was a very entertaining game to watch. I thought the power play was great for the Wings. The transition game was unbelievable. It's the best the transition unit has looked in the post-Trevor Baptiste era of Philadelphia Wings lacrosse. It was spectacular, and all of that on top of Joe Rest-Terrets being Joe Rest-Terrets and being the veteran leader on the floor that this team needed. They stepped up in a big way, and Nick Demud was standing on his head, making saves left and right in this game. They really impressed me, and I'm always positively optimistic about what the Wings are going to do because I cover the team. I want to see them succeed. So for them to get this win was huge, and even bigger, we have in-person press conferences again after a one-season hiatus from them, and I'm going to be bringing you as much as I can from those press conferences. Whenever I'm at the games, I'm going to record at least my questions and answers I get to my questions so that we can throw them in the pod and give you guys a taste of what the players are thinking after games, what coach is thinking after games, and for all the Wings fans that are crossover from OTB and also listen to this show. And I want to introduce more people to the Wings and just give them an opportunity to go out to a game and enjoy a fun experience, but also get a chance to know Coach Rubel and the players and, see where their heads are at after games and stuff. So bunch of fun clips that I have for you guys here from postgame with the aforementioned Landen Sinfield, Eric Fannell, and Coach Ian Rubel. So sit tight. You're going to hear their postgame thoughts on the game, and I'll wrap up Wings talk after that. But here are Landen Sinfield, Eric Fannell, and head coach Ian Rubel after an 8-7 victory over the Colorado Mammoth on Saturday afternoon in their postgame media availability.
Landon, first game at home, to have that crowd behind you and just the type of game that it was, just take us through just all the thoughts and emotions for you and to be able to come out on top today in the home opener.
It was a real blast. I've never been to Philly before, so coming out with that crowd, I didn't realize how into the game everyone was, all the chants they're doing. Damood's dudes were hilarious. I loved it. So just to see kind of our fans come out like that and support us and then be able to come out on top, it was a blast.
How's it like playing with some of the veterans here who definitely have big names, and how do you handle that and kind of gel together?
As a young guy, all you can do is be a sponge. Some of those guys, hundreds and thousands of points in the league, hundreds of games. When they tell you something, you just gotta soak it in and do your best to kind of do what they're telling you, because they know how to do it. So lots of good guys in that room, very helpful, very loud. It's helpful as a young guy, and we did. So it was great.
Landon, when you have defense the way that the defense performed tonight, and just the unit, and then obviously Nick and in net for you guys, just talk about their efforts to keep you guys in the game as it got a little hairy there towards the end, but to be able to have a group effort on defense for you guys to keep you in that one, how special was that to kind of watch them go to work?
That's all you can ask for as an O guy, especially it wasn't clicking as well for us in the second half. For our defense to be able to hold them to 4 in the first half, and I think 4 or 3 again in the second. That takes so much pressure off the O guys. We got to do a better job of maybe putting a couple more in, but our defense playing like that is a huge reason why we come out on top. And Nicky with 50-some saves, that guy's the real deal.
The Vineland Municipal Utilities is committed to helping your business succeed. As a community-owned utility, our focus is on service, not profit. From site planning to powering your operations, we can help you achieve your strategic goals. Whether it's a customized cost analysis of your usage needs, engineering support to ensure a smooth interconnection, or offering lower rates than neighboring utilities, we want to be your partner in creating an environment for long-term success. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
And how about that 4-goal second quarter you guys had that took the lead?
Yeah, it was a team effort. As Landon said, it's a team. It's by committee this year. Everybody needs to pull their weight and everybody needs to play their role. And I think that showed in that quarter, especially. And if we can play like that every quarter, I don't think there's a lot of teams in this league that can compete with us, especially when our defense played the way they did.
Eric, we talked at Media Day and just, the thoughts you would have running out of the tunnel for the first time after choosing to sign here in free agency. Did it live up to kind of the thought-up expectations you had and just the crowd behind you this time for the first time here at Xfinity Mobile Arena?
Yeah, it was awesome. I've played here a couple times, and I was very happy to play on the good guys this time, you know what I mean? And the fans were amazing. They're very passionate, and they're, blue collar, and just like me, I consider myself a blue collar guy, so I really felt at home, and when running out of that tunnel, I really felt right at home.
And you talk about the balanced offense, because we saw a lot of people working the ball and really more a focus on which shots were going to be taken.
I honestly think that it comes down to the fact that in this locker room there's no egos, and there's no one that's a 100-point guy except for Joey Rez, but Joey Rez doesn't have an ego like that. He's a great guy. He's actually one of the guys I looked up to. He's from not from St. Catharines, but he played for St. Catharines, my hometown. So, watching him grow up and being his teammate for a second time now it's amazing. And everyone just kind of feeds off of his energy, and then feeding off of his energy, just if he's not selfish and he's at 100-point seasons, how can any of us be selfish? So we just swing the ball. Oh, you're open, pass it to him. Oh, you're open, pass it to him. It doesn't matter. We're all friends here, and we're all trying to win. So
Taking a win against Colorado, what's that?
We're not what people think this, white over team. So I think it was a great great win for the boys.
Eric, just talk about the power play tonight, too. It felt like you guys were able to get out quick in transition and capitalize early in those power plays. When that power play offense is clicking for you, how dangerous can this offense really be?
It can be very dangerous. You know, we have a lot of good shooters on there, a lot of good crease presence, and some good pickers that open up people. And you know, the power play thrives when the ball moves. And when you know you see a guy, oh, he's open, throw it to him. Oh, you're setting a pick, set a pick with your life depends on it. You know, you're shooting, put it on that as hard as you can. You know, it's one of those things where it's like every play is your last play, and especially on the power play, like you got to perform or else someone else is going in on you. So I think tonight we really did a good job at proving that, you know, we had a good power play and a good offense. So.
Coach, just take us through just, you know, the course of the game as you guys, you know, see the offense clicking, and then towards the end the defense really steps up for you, get that first win. How good does an opening game win feel for you guys?
Yeah, I mean it feels good for sure. Like you said, it was a bit of a game of emotions. We started off real good at both ends of the floor, and then into the second half, you know, my message to the team was composure. Right, we kind of let it get away from us a little bit. Once the screws get turned a little tighter in the game, we lost a bit of composure, but credit to the guys. I mean, they pulled it together at the end and came out with a 1-goal win.
And how good?
Talking about Nick, when you see him kind of just going blow for blow, and then above of what Dylan Ward was doing on the other end, just to see that competitive nature from him and be able to keep you guys anchored in this one, just watching it unfold, how fun was that for you as a coach? And then when you see the defense playing in front of him as well.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, when you have a goaltender that's playing well, it gives the entire team confidence. So we knew Nick had it in him, and that's why we picked him up and traded for him. So yeah, I mean that's my expectation of Nick. But yeah, it just fills our entire team with confidence when you have a goalie that's stopping the ball well.
There seemed to be a shift in transitions too from last season to this season. Quicker, more pressure on the ball, more physical right away, especially with the clear. Can you talk us through that? Is that something we can expect more of, or was it specifically in response to how good Dylan Ward is and knowing that you have to approach him differently?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of everything. I mean, when we're talking loose balls and transition game and change, that was a big focus for us. In the off season, we knew loose balls and the way that we changed from offense to defense needed to be better. Number one, loose balls. If you don't possess the ball, you can't do anything. And possessing the ball is the best defense. So it's a strong focus on attacking loose balls this year. So you will see us play quite a bit more aggressive.
When you're able to go and get those loose balls and have a healthy Nick Rowlett at the stripe for you guys, to see him back healthy and looking the best he's looked since he was in college almost, you know, how valuable to have a face-off guy that can go out there, get those gritty loose balls for you, is it for the offense?
Yeah, it's very valuable. I just talked about it. I mean, you need to possess the ball. If you don't have the ball, you're in trouble. You control the pace of the game at that point. If you have the ball, they're not scoring. So yeah, Nick picking up face-offs for us, winning them clean. Yeah, it just puts the ball in our stick. So you can't stress how much face-offs are. If you're in a high-scoring game, that could be 20 more possessions in a game. So yeah, face-off is very valuable to us.
Shout out to the Philadelphia Wings again, like to be in a suite and to run out on the field pregame and have the entire arena just like staring down at me and the other influencers that they called us was crazy. To be hooked up in a suite with some of my best friends and some of our most talented creators here, and just have a chance to like kick back and enjoy things as a fan was really awesome. And to be back in post-game media availability was great. And I mean, you know, Landen Sinfield, he was awesome. I was very impressed with what he was able to do. And the way that he, you know, just kind of had composure and playing as a rookie in front of a packed house. And, you know, just looking at the stats here for the Wings, you know, Joe Resetarits balled out as he normally does, but the Wings won 11 of 19 faceoffs. Sam LeClaire had 5 assists in this game. Joey Rez with 2 goals. Brendan O'Neill had 11 shots on goal. Chris Corbeil scooping up those loose balls as the captain this year. Nick Demud, like I said, 52 saves. Only allowed 7 goals against a high-powered, Colorado Mammoth team. Wings went on that 4-goal run in the second, led by, Brennan O'Neill, Sinfield, Reza Territz, Evan Messenger. Just a brilliant, brilliant game. Eric Fannell in this one. What did he end up with? Friend of the program. 2 goals in this game. Scored in the first. Scored in the fourth? No, in the third. Late in the second, actually. Excuse me. Phil Caputo scored that goal in the fourth. That was kind of the icer. Brennan O'Neill did his thing. 3 points in this game. Sammy Leclerc with 5 assists is beautiful. Dalton Young with 4 assists. That's a great thing to see. And I mean, the Wings, 42 shots on goal to the Mammoths, 59. 1 for 3 on the power play. The Mammoth were 1 for 6, so the power play defense was awesome. And, you survived not scoring in the third quarter, and you survived only scoring once in the fourth quarter. So that to me is just like resiliency and very impressive. And the Wings play on Saturday at Rochester, like following that Eagles game. Hopefully it's a quick Eagles game in that sense, so everyone can tune in and watch that game, because that'll be a huge early season test against the Rochester Nighthawks, who played on Sunday and got a huge win over the San Diego Seals in San Diego, 15-7. But a great win for the Philadelphia Wings. Happy for the boys, happy for Coach, and thank you again to the Philadelphia Wings so much for the experience, for the opportunity, and to be recognized the way that we were, and to have the hookups we did, and to have post-game media availability for the people. So you'll getting to hear from Landen Sinfield on this show now, and getting to hear from Eric Fannell again, and now Coach for the first time is really cool. And hopefully I'll be bringing that to you all season long from Xfinity Mobile Arena with the Philadelphia Wings. Next game at home for the Wings is not until 2026, but it is Friday, January 9th against the Rochester Nighthawks. So that is the next home game there for the Wings. They now have 2 straight games on the road against Rochester and Ottawa. I'm thinking maybe 1-1 there at worst. And then coming back home to play Rochester, you never know, but the Wings have always played Rochester well. Then they go to Vegas on January 17th, home against the San Diego Seals on January 23rd, and then they're at the Seals on January 30th. And then they are away on February 7th at Buffalo, away on Saturday, February 14th against the Roughnecks, and then they are finally back home on Sunday, February 22nd against the Saskatchewan Rush at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Wow, so they really weird schedule. 2 road, 1 home. Road, home, road, road, road. So they'll be at home on January 23rd, and then they're not home again for a month. Whew. Damn. But then I think they have a lot of home games late. Yeah, they have 3 straight home games towards the end of the year, which is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of their last 6 are at home. That's clutch. And they had the 2 early bye weeks. So congrats to the Wings. Shout out to the boys. Shout out to the organization. And hopefully we build upon this and get a big-time win on Saturday against Rochester. Wings chatter there, brought to you by our pals over at Bino. Guys, we love Bino here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. They're truly the best. It's the next big tabletop game for your man cave, your tailgates, your parties, your she sheds, whatever it may be. You break the Bino board out, you are going to be the talk of the event. It is paper football meets foosball for the next big tabletop flicking experience. You guys can use our link in the description to shop with Bino. That way they know you're coming from us. Get your officially licensed Philadelphia Union boards. Get your officially licensed Premier League boards. You can customize your own board. You get the Philadelphia Wings turf if you wanted. Get your officially licensed boards. Get your custom boards, what have you, apparel, and more when you use our link in the description to shop with Bino. And get 10% off your next order when you use code BinoBennett62 at checkout. That's code BinoBennett62 to get 10% off your next order when you shop with Bino, when you use our link. That is a sweet shirt. The Mecca Major Part 3. They got a sweet camo hat available on their website right now, too. Their apparel's so sweet, and it fits beautifully. So use our link in the description, shop with Bino, and get 10% off your next order when you use code BinoBennett62 at checkout. And shout out to Bino for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Last bit here, the Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers. They've been hooping. Unfortunate loss tonight, 120-117 to the Atlanta Hawks. They're 14-11 on the season. They did split the maxi-less games. They beat the Pacers on Friday, 115-105. Last Sunday fell just short to the Lakers. But Joel Embiid turned the clock back a little bit. Made some people sound pretty silly. Put up 39 points, 9 rebounds in 32 minutes against the Pacers. And then on Sunday against the Hawks, Paul George popped off for 35 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists in 33 minutes. Embiid, 22 points, 14 rebounds, a nice little double-double action in 30 minutes of play for the process. 26 points from VJ Edgecombe. Just not enough from the bench, unfortunately. You look at the bench points here. Jabari Walker, 4 points. Justin Edwards, no points. Andre Drummond, just 5 points, but 10 rebounds. Kyle Lowry got into this game. Jared McCain, 0 points in 18 minutes. The McCain stuff's fascinating. We'll have Aaron Grugan back on probably after the holidays, just because the holidays can be crazy and everything. But, yeah, I mean, when you split without your arguably best player on your team in Tyrese Maxey, your typically most available best player, I should say. Because, I mean, when Joel's hooping, he's hooping, but Tyrese Maxey, all-around best player on the team. When you split those games, you should feel pretty good. This is a game the Sixers could have won, probably should have won. But now, they drop this one. They don't play again until Friday. They've got 5 days off. They go up to New York to play the Knicks. And they play on Saturday at home against the Mavericks. And then on Tuesday, they're home against the Nets. Friday, they're at the Bulls. Sunday, December 28th, they're at the Thunder. December 30th, they're at Memphis. And that's the rest of 2025. So some winnable games for sure remaining for the Sixers. But Joel Embiid doing his thing. Paul George. And I mean, the Sixers got robbed in the Hawks game too. It's just coming back to me because I saw Aaron tweet the clip. Clear backcourt violation on the Hawks that just was not called late in the game, and it should have been Sixers ball. But the Sixers are the 7th seed right now. Same record as the Miami Heat. Not all that far off from the Raptors. They're a half game back of the Raptors, half game back of the Magic, a full game back of the Celtics. And then the Knicks and the Pistons are kind of sitting pretty at the top, but you're only 4 games back in the Knicks. I mean, I'm not saying the Sixers are going to win the Eastern Conference or finish first place in the Eastern Conference by any stretch of the imagination, but, if you can stay around that 3 to 7 range all year, fuck yeah. It's not like you're the Nets or the Pacers or the Wizards or the Hornets or even the Bulls or the Bucks. The Sixers are playing good basketball. Like it's quality basketball. They're playing a winning brand. They should be a playoff team. I think they can avoid the play-in, honestly, with how things are lining up right now. And we'll see. Maxey hopefully will be back sooner rather than later. I know it's an illness thing. It's not really an injury thing. We'll see what happens with Joel, moving forward, and just got to keep chugging along with this Sixers team. That's really all it's going to be, is just seeing where things sit, probably going into 2026, meaning this season 2026, but overall, not much to complain about with the Sixers. And they're still doing this without Kelly Oubre in the lineup. He's been out for a while with his injury, so another piece that they are down right now as well. They'll figure some things out. And if Paul George is going to play that way, I'm not saying every night, but if he's got that in his bag right now, fantastic. If Joel is going to go out and play the way he has the last 2 games, fantastic. And it's all about just managing those guys and making sure that they're good to go. But feeling good about the Sixers, feeling good about the Flyers, feeling great about the Birds now, feeling good about the Wings. We'll see what happens with the Phillies and what they're going to be able to do in free agency after the Kyle Schwarber signing. And the Philadelphia Union right now, it's looking kind of weird and interesting. I got to reach out to Jimmy King and get him on this show. I got to force Jimmy King to come on this show. Come on, Jimmy. You've ducked me for too long, my friend. I'm just messing with you. I love you, Jimmy. I just like being a menace. But yeah, I feel good. If you're feeling good, if you're not feeling good, let me know. Speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Let me know how you're feeling about the Sixers. And our Sixers talk there, brought to you by our friends over at FOCO. Guys, FOCO are the leaders in Forever Collectibles, officially licensed product for your favorite sports teams, including the Philadelphia 76ers. You can get Sixers overalls, Sixers bobbleheads, Sixers apparel, and so much more when you use our link in the description to shop with FOCO. That way they know you're coming from us. Shop for all your favorite teams, the Birds, the Phillies, the Flyers, the Sixers, and so much more. Use that link in the description to shop with FOCO, and we thank FOCO for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is all I've got for you guys on this one. A fun episode, a good lot to talk about, feeling good about our teams, and yeah, feeling good. Feels good to feel good. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Follow me on Twitter at KBICZL311. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire catalog of podcasts. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Get us to 1,200 subscribers. Get us 55 more subscribers so that we can double our entire subscriber output from 2024. Drop a like on the video. Leave a comment in the comment section. Smash that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. Please, please, please subscribe. It will mean the world to me. It's all I want this holiday season is for you to subscribe to the pod. Please. That's all I'm asking. And as you all know, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And ladies and gentlemen, listen up, okay? Listen here. Whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process. Their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode number 803 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Enjoy Victory Monday. Let's have ourselves a good week as we gear up for a potential shirts and hat game on Saturday against the Commanders, looking to win the NFC East back-to-back years for the first time since 03-04. Let's keep going. Positive vibes for the Flyers, the Sixers, the Phils. Hopefully the Union figures some things out with all the stuff that's out there with players leaving. And hopefully the Wings keep balling out, especially on Saturday against Rochester. But I'm your boy KB. I will catch you all on Thursday. We'll see if I can pop a guest on, talk some birds maybe. We'll see what happens. How you doing? But nonetheless, you'll have an episode on Thursday as well as we gear up for another Birds game. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here. I'm signing off. Go Birds, dickhead. Peace.